Yeah. We had to start it off horror related.
Oh,
That's right.
100%. Yeah.
You got to get in the mood of horror, baby. That's right. Well, this
Yeah.
channel celebrates everything, Billy. Martial arts, action, horror, suspense. We love it all. But today, we're sticking with a little bit of that horror today because we have in the movie dojo hanging out with your boy Samurai Guy today. We have Billy Hanson, filmmaker, director, award-winning filmmaker, director. I got to throw that in a little extra, which earn some extra points there.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Welcome, sir. Welcome to the channel.
Thank you very much, man. I'm excited.
Yeah. We had to reach out and be like, we gotta do something. We gotta do something because what? Your boy here, Preston. That's right, Samurai Guy. I had to get my copy. Of Bone Cold, and I watched it a couple of days ago. And brother, well done.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you.
Well done, my friend.
I'm a little bit jealous. I haven't had a chance to hold a copy of the Blu-ray yet. I'm excited to.
I'm special. But yeah, man, really enjoyed it, and we're going to talk about a lot of it, and that's why I got you here to get some of the behind the scenes info and news and knowledge. That's right, and we're going to do our very best to stay away from spoilers because Samurai Guy wants you guys to go out and see this movie. That's right. So who do we got in the house here? Brian Sanchez showing up, giving the thumbs up already. That's right. You got Brandon here throwing it up. That's right.
Wow.
Keeping it metal. Oh yeah.
100%.
Are you a metalhead, or you like everything? A little bit of everything.
I mean, I'm like a grunge, like 90s kid, so I'm very like Soundgarden.
Yes.
9 Inch Nails.
Yes.
Queens of the Stone Age is sort of like that's the sweet spot for me.
Oh, so good. That's my best friend's favorite band of all time, and he was rubbing it in. He called me one day. He was like, "I saw them live." I'm like, "Fuck you, man." But nice. You have a great taste in music, my friend. That's right. Yeah, yeah. We gotta keep it going. So for sure. But yeah, man, let's before we start popping up some of your older projects, I want to see, the chat has to, that way they get to see what you've done in the past.
Yeah.
Before we pop that up, I gotta ask, man, how did you get into filmmaking? When did you get the bug? Man? The bug was flying around and like Spider-Man, boom, bit you in the arm. And you were like, I gotta do this.
I was very, very young. I actually don't even remember when the initial bite happened, but I was really young. Movies were always a big part of my life. Like my dad used to have just shelves and shelves of the VHS tapes that we had copied from the video store, and just like 3 deep, several rows, and so it was always, come home from school, pop in a movie, and they were always a really big part of my life. And I was always a writer. I was always telling stories. And so it was kind of inevitable I'd end up doing this for a living and, making my life about this.
Nice. And you started as a writer first, and then you became producer, then director. Is that how it kind of went?
It all sort of happened at the same time. Like,
okay.
I was actually a musician before I was anything else, talking about music. I played drums for a long time, and I studied music a lot. I was like a jazz drummer, and then I was a rock drummer. And
oh shit! All right.
Yeah, so I did a lot of that, but I ended up going to film school, and because I had studied music for so long, I was like, I kind of know music. Like, I want to do this other thing that really feels like the long-term goal. Went to film school, moved to LA. And yeah, I just kind of hit the ground running. Any opportunity that came up, I kind of jumped at it. I acted in a couple projects and very quickly realized I was not good at it and I didn't like doing it. So I was like, I don't need to do that anymore.
Yeah.
But I've always been a writer. I write lots of stuff. I've written a book. I've written lots of scripts, pilots, movies, shorts. And then directing is sort of whenever I can. Directing is much harder of a job to do.
Sure, yeah.
Producing, I just kind of do by necessity. I would rather not be solely a producer, but I definitely need a producing partner on this stuff that I do.
Gotcha. Copy that. So growing up, I have to ask, what was some of your favorite movies of all time?
I was so yeah, 90s kid. So it was very much like the Lethal Weapon movies,
Yeah.
Die Hard movies. True Lies is one of my all-time favorites. Um, Aliens, you know, those
Oh yeah.
staples.
Got the poster
I
right over there, 27 by
oh
40, baby.
beautiful. I actually didn't even really get into horror until much later. Like most of my upbringing was like action and suspense stuff.
Nice.
You know, my tastes have changed a little bit, but I still love those movies. I still,
Oh
whenever
yeah.
people ask me my favorite movies, I have a couple of my, you know, my French New Wave answers, and then I have my True Lies. I love White Men Can't Jump. I love
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, that was a lot of my upbringing, was those like big blockbuster action movies of the 90s.
Nice. Oh, those are classics. That's an era that will never be duplicated. They keep
Yeah,
trying to,
yeah.
but you know,
I know how hard they must have been now.
yeah, right. Well, that's awesome, man. See, we're brothers now. You said Lethal Weapon, True Lies. That's it.
Yeah, and those are such character driven stories in
Yeah.
these big huge blockbusters. Like, yeah, that's right. That's my forte right there.
I still don't know why True Lies is still not on Blu-ray yet. I don't. It's so
Yeah, that's kind of
strange.
wild. It was hard to find for a minute, like streaming anywhere.
And you know, James Cameron, you know, because of the success with Avatar and all that, you know, he's like the biggest name ever.
Yeah,
But yet True Lies and The Abyss, which I really liked.
yeah,
I'll take The Abyss over Avatar any day, but that's just me.
yeah.
But The Abyss, those movies aren't they're James Cameron movies, but they're not on Blu-ray. It's so strange.
I didn't realize that The Abyss wasn't on there. I figured
Yeah.
that would be a one of the first ones they did.
Yeah, it's very strange. Well, hopefully one day we get a Blu-ray.
They're just saving it. They're holding on to it.
Yeah. So when you slowly started getting into horror later, what was some of the movies where you were like, you're feeling it? You're like, yes, okay.
A lot of my friends, when I got to college and film school, and they realized I hadn't seen horror, they were like, "We got to catch you up, man." So I watched I watched like Friday the 13th movies.
Yes.
Halloween was when I saw that one. I was like, "Yup, suspense, awesome." Like a lot of the John Carpenter stuff. The Thing is now one of my all-time favorites.
Classic.
Yeah, man, and you know all the old John Carpenter stuff. The Nightmare on Elm Street movies were surprisingly those hit me pretty hard, you know, because they're just so strange and so out there. Yeah, and then you know, once I got into that stuff, I started discovering Cronenberg, and Cronenberg for me is like a huge influence. The Brood. I haven't seen Crimes of the Future yet.
Me neither.
Heard some mixed things, but I really want to.
Yeah. I want you to as well. I missed that one, but yeah. And his son does great work too so far.
Yeah, well, Possessor. I watched Possessor, and that one knocked my socks off. Like I was not expecting it. It was so incredibly dark and uncomfortable and violent.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one I like that one a lot.
Nice. So you're getting into more of the you love the slasher stuff, you love the monster stuff, but now you're getting into more cerebral.
Yeah. You know
man.
What? So when I started putting together Bone Cold, I started pitching it as Predator and Jacob's Ladder.
Right.
Those two movies are like very influential for me too. Those ones I watched a lot when I was younger. Jacob's Ladder actually scared me a lot more than most movies. Just like the subtle nature of it, you know, just like this one guy going through, the only guy that can see these creatures. But that was really influential for Bone Cold and stuff. But
and as you can see right here, Predator poster right there.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. I'm just marking off your posters.
You've come to the right channel, Billy. That's right. But yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, let's just pop up some of your older work here. Just kind of briefly give us some backstory on some of these.
Yeah, so this is a pilot that I did with the star of Bone Cold, John Stoddard. And yeah, this is sort of like a sweet, family-friendly music drama. Like, it was my attempt to get back into music without getting back into music. I wrote a lot of the music for it. I performed the score for it. And
nice.
We won a handful of awards with it at festivals and stuff. But that's a project that's sort of morphed from web series to TV pilot, and now there's a feature script that exists for it that I hope to make one day. But yeah, that's sort of a project that'll never die, I think.
Nice. Copy that. Are you composing your more of your other work? Have you done that? Are you doing the John Carpenter thing? Is that something
not
you're
as much
in?
I would love to do that. like for this one, there just wasn't the time, and we had a really good composer on. So I would
Right.
love to do that, but it's got to be the right situation for it.
You got to have the time too, like you said, right? Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Apology Days. We got a
Oh,
comedy
but
here.
woo. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
This one was a long time ago. This was let's see. Okay, so the premise of it, it's a short film. It did the festival circuit for a little while. It's about a guy who goes out and parties his heart out, and then part of his routine is he wakes up the next day and just calls all of his friends to apologize for his shenanigans the night
Right.
before.
Right.
And then the one particular party, he ends up making out with another girl while his, having a girlfriend. So he's got to make one really difficult apology call.
Copy
But
that.
yeah, a sweet little like romantic comedy kind of
Yeah,
thing.
gotcha. Well, this one it does not look like a romantic comedy, and the title already, I'm already intrigued. Revolver.
Ooh, that was my thesis film. I went to Florida State University, and this one was a very ambitious story for them. But it turned out really cool, man. Like it was silly of us to try and do it, but it's a proper like little action short, and there's a car chase in it, and there's gunfights, and it's a bunch of like 20-year-olds with a film camera. We shot it on Super 16, but it was shot in Tallahassee, Florida, and it was a lot of fun to do that.
Nice. And this one, is this like some like paranormal, like ghost hunters? Is that what this is?
Yeah, this was pretty much an homage, a spoof of all the ghost hunter shows.
Yes.
And so we were doing a little Reno 911 kind of style, and that was so much fun. Unfortunately, that one never took off either. But we had so much fun making it, and yeah, I still talk to all those guys pretty much.
Well, spoofing those shows, that's already gold.
Yeah,
it's just too much fun, and
yeah.
we love Reno 911 over here as well.
Oh, yes.
This was on watching on Funny or Die here. What was this project about?
This was another one that was just sort of a straight comedy, very silly comedy written by Brett Elam and Josh Logan, two comedians that I met going around with the No Place to Fall project. And we met, really hit it off. We all lived in LA, and we're like, let's just do a project together. And yeah, they had this idea about this woman who's obsessed with her two dogs, and the two dogs get struck by lightning and turn into full-grown dudes, but they're still dogs. And so we just like went with that, and then that was it. I didn't write that one; they wrote it, but I directed the episodes.
Wow, that sounds kind of pretty hilarious.
Yeah. And it ended up getting picked up by Funny or Die, so we had like a fun little 4 or 5 episode thing.
Nice. That's cool. That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now we're shifting gears here. So this is based off of Stephen King work.
Yeah.
Here.
Yep. Yeah. So are you familiar with the Dollar Baby films?
No. What's that one?
Okay. So Stephen King has this deal that he puts out to student filmmakers and starting out filmmakers, where he offers up a collection of his short stories, the rights to them for $1. And with that $1, you get production rights and you can have festival rights to screen it. The catch is that you can never make money off of it. You can never release it publicly. So there are hundreds of these short films that exist based on his short stories. And there's a whole community of filmmakers that have done these Dollar Baby films. And that's what Survivor Type was. I was lucky enough to get the rights to do that film. It's a 30-minute short, and I made it back in 2012.
Wow.
And
I won some awards there. Yeah, that's awesome.
It won an alarming amount of awards mainly because the main actor, Gideon Emery, gives this like incredibly powerhouse performance. And if you don't know that story, Stephen King himself has said, oh yeah, that story goes a little bit too far even for me.
Wow.
It's about this guy who's a surgeon trapped on an island in the middle of the ocean with no food. And he's also smuggling heroin. And at one point he breaks his foot, has to amputate his own foot while taking the heroin as a painkiller. And because he's got no food, he eats his foot. And then the heroin starts driving him mad, and he starts cutting off other parts of himself to eat it and stay alive and keep himself alive for
wild.
It is an incredibly dark story, and we really went there with that movie, and we did all practical effects. We had this guy that worked on Dexter building all these fake legs and fake hands and
Oh,
fake
nice.
ear. And it's a gnarly short, and I'm really proud of it. And actually, like, I still get asked, people on the internet know about it and try to find it. And I just last week, someone was like, "Hey, how do I watch this movie?" And I was able to send them a link to it. So
yeah, that was my next question, actually.
yeah, well, it's tricky because I can't put it out
Right.
anywhere.
Right,
But what
right.
I've been doing is, like, if you reach out, like, through the Facebook page, or if you find me somewhere, just ask me for a link, and I can send you a private link, and I will say very clearly, do not post this publicly.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome, man. Congrats on that project. And we got some
Thank
more filmmaking awards type of projects here. Earthworm.
Yeah,
What's this one about?
Earworm.
Oh, excuse
So
me.
yeah,
Earworm.
you're not
Sorry.
the first one to make that mistake. So that one I actually just produced. I didn't write or direct that one. That's
Okay.
a great director named Tara Price, and she's a friend from LA who she came to me after Survivor Type. Actually, she saw Survivor Type and said, "Hey, do you think you can help me produce this?" And it was such a cool. It's a 5-minute short. There's no dialogue. It's just about this man who gets a song stuck in his head and can't get it out, and he sort of does battle with this song that's in his head, and it's so cool. It's one of the coolest 5-minute shorts I've ever seen.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's really. And Ernest Thomas, who was in What's Happening, is the lead guy.
Is that who that is? Oh my goodness! Wow.
And he was awesome. I think we had such a great day of shooting, and like,
wow,
he was so cool about it, and he really loved it.
Yeah. How cool is that? How cool is
that? Was a lot.
No, this next one, I'm already like, I have to see this. I have to ask Billy. I have to see this. We have more horror related here. Tea Time.
Yep.
And so, Rob Van Dam is in this.
Yeah. So that's the same thing. That's another Tara Price short. This is another thing. She came to me and said, "Can we do another one? Because we had so much fun with Earworm."
Yeah.
And this is a little girl whose imagination is wild, and she is like a future crime boss, basically treating her toys as such. And not to totally spoil the surprise for you, the Rob Van Dam action figure at one point who turns into Rob Van Dam.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool. That's another one that's really, really fun.
Yeah, it looked fun. It looked fun for sure. But how'd you get involved with the Legion of Exorcists with Eli Roth here?
Yeah, so that one is it's a story that spans a decade, basically. I worked for a long time as a post-production supervisor for this company called Triage. They do a ton of unscripted stuff, like Food Network shows. I worked on a car show at one point, and I met this producer named Trevor Byrell, and he was, I think, supervising producer on this one show. He and I just hit it off on that show, and we were kind of in the trenches on it. 10 years later, he reached out to me and he was like, "Hey man, I need someone for this Legion of Exorcists show because it's a sort of cross between scripted and unscripted. They're doing these roundtable interviews with these real life exorcists. So we need a story producer, someone familiar with post-production who can string these out and really build story that way. But we also need someone who can write scripts and tell a cinematic horror story." Like, you kind of have both of those skills. Are you available and interested in this? And I was like, hell yeah, I'm interested in this. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, he brought me on to that, and I was able to be on set every day for it. I think we shot over like 6 or 7 weeks, and God, it might have been more than that. I don't even remember now, but that was a blast. And that show is airing now on Travel Channel, and it's really great because we finished that show over a year ago.
Nice.
We've been waiting for it to come out, but seeing it on TV finally, man, is awesome.
That's awesome. And now we can watch it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. There's a new episode today, I think, right now.
Oh, look at that. Perfect time.
Right now. It's not late enough. Tonight.
Most perfect segue ever to but now we have arrived. That's right, to Bone Cold. Sometimes we make our own demons. Yes. And I'm available for voiceover work, Billy. Just,
I mean, that was great. I might have to steal that.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, everybody watching right now, let's go ahead and play a little clip. And yeah, let's do this.
Is your job hard? Do you get scared?
No. Let's do what we do.
Target, Theodore Burek. You'll hike through the woods, take out the target, come right back the way you came.
It's American issued.
Was there a team sent before us?
Did you hear that?
Someone creeping up behind us?
No. It's something else. What the
What do you want to do, John?
Thin the herd.
Hey! One shot, brother.
One shot.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You know, we had to set the scene. You know, we had to play the trailer.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, man. You got chills. You have chills.
I do. Every time I see that trailer, I'm like, God, that's a good trailer.
But yeah, congratulations on
Thank you.
you know, creating the film and getting out there and it, you know, it being made and now it's coming out everywhere. I mean, like that's, you know, I had another filmmaker on here. He was a great guy. And he always says any movie, no matter what budget it is, big, small, no budget, any movie that actually gets made and released is a miracle.
No, I feel I'm so happy with the way that it's turned out and the way that it's coming out. I think it's just absolutely ideal. And I'm looking back and there are so many points where it could have just not happened. You know, there are so many things that could have gotten in our way, things that did get in our way that we had to work around. But you know, I absolutely agree. Any movie coming out is a miracle. I feel like especially now, you know, that studios and stuff, they're shelving movies that are done. You wouldn't think that a major $90 million movie is going to get shelved, but that's what we're dealing with now. So like, yeah, having this come out in this way, like I'm very happy. It's been a long time coming. So
Awesome. And congrats on the premiere. How did it go?
it was great, man. You know, I try not to think about it too much, but like 5 minutes before every screening, I always get this like really nervous pit in my stomach. Like, oh, they're going to hate it. It's going to be dead silent in the theater. But, you know, thankfully, our LA premiere just this last week was a packed house. It was a really engaged audience. Everyone was gasping and shrieking and coughing, and yeah, it made me very happy. It was a really good response.
Well, congrats, and over here at the Jacksonville Festival, looks like you did some Q&A there as well.
Yeah, so we went down. Our world premiere was Dances with Films in New York. That was in December, and then that other guy there is my buddy Tim Driscoll. He runs the Jacksonville Film Festival. So we went down there. We did this really great Q&A with him. We talked for a long time about the movie. That was another great crowd.
Nice.
And then we've been sort of waiting for the release, and we were able to do this LA premiere early this week. And then right now I'm in Maine. We're going to be doing 3 screenings up here because we shot up here. So we're kind of premiering it for this community that really helps it right before it comes out. So
yeah, all right, yeah, that's awesome. I got Dan here. He says, "Cool." He enjoyed the trailer there. But yeah, let's watch it again. Let's do a little screen share action, and then by all means, Billy, give us your thoughts and some commentary.
Yeah,
a little behind the scenes knowledge here. Hold on, let me make sure it's big enough for us. There we go. Yeah. And I'll be talking to, you know, me, because I really enjoyed the movie, especially this sequence here, which I will not spoil. But this whole set piece here, was this difficult to film? How long did it take?
One day. We shot this whole scene in one day. It was a really, really difficult day. But we had this whole squad right here, save for the guy in the middle. is the SWAT team for Southern Maine. They are the official SWAT team for Southern Maine. So they all, and we just had a hookup with one of the guys here. We were filming on his property, and he asked one day, he's like, "Do you need any like bad guys?" I was like, "Yeah, we're gonna be casting for a militia." And he was like, "Do you want me to just bring my entire SWAT team?" I was like, "Yes, I do."
That's awesome.
So they're all the men and women here. Like,
these guys are these guys are the real deal, the real
they
badasses. Nice.
They walked on set and they saw our 2 Navy SEAL sniper actors, and they were like, "All right, okay."
We're gonna show them how it's done. But yeah. I love this scene. But this character right here, I don't know, might be the MVP of the movie for me.
Yeah, she's awesome. So that is Elise Bergreen, and she is a good friend of mine. She was also my babysitter for a while.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and so
has she acted a lot before?
Yeah, she does a lot of stuff. She's a really great actress, and
she was great in this.
Yeah, initially, again, without getting too spoilery, she had a big scene where she had this whole dialogue with her 2 kind of henchmen. But our editor came in and watched the movie, and he goes, "You know what? You don't need all this dialogue. You have one powerful look from her that says everything you need to say." And he was absolutely right. And people respond to her character so much with so little. So her performance is powerful.
Oh yeah, especially when she gives that look when she comes across a fallen comrade. I was just like, oh shit. it's not good. It's not good for our 2
she is going
protagonists.
down.
It's not good now. But yeah, speaking of performances, man, Jonathan here, great job, man. Great job.
Yeah, he is really, really good. And he was on a soap opera for a while. He does a lot of Lifetime movies, Hallmark movies. He was just in, I think, like 3 different Christmas movies.
Really?
Yeah. So when I called him for this, he was like, do you think I can pull off a Navy SEAL sniper? And I was like, yeah, dude, I know you, and I know what you can do. Like, let's just go. We're going to push you. It's going to be hard, but like, we'll get there.
Wow.
And he really crushed it, man. Like, he does some really intricate stuff in there.
That's hilarious, because I was getting ready to ask, so what other action movies has he been in? And he said, but that shows how good of a job he did in the film.
Yeah, I know he's done a handful of fight scenes. I know he's had a couple intense moments on screen, but I don't think anything this in depth.
Right. Yeah. And this was a lot. What this character goes through in the film. Not just dealing with the horrors of war, but other things. And he really, I'm sure as a performer, it was really a lot for him to do, but he killed it. He did a great job.
Yeah, I think the thing I hear most after people see the movie is like, your actors are great. Like all the performances across the board are top notch, and they really are. Everyone in it is fantastic.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right, let's keep it rocking and rolling. But yeah, what? Wait, hold on a second.
What was that?
What's going on? There's something. There's something there. I don't know. But yeah, we got something in there, and it doesn't look good. It does not look good. I think anybody would freak out, no matter how badass they are. They would be like, "What the fuck was that?"
This is kind of a moment right here. This is one of the sort of inspirations for the movie, is like this just creepy monster in the distance. And so like we have a lot of those kind of moments in the movie.
Oh yeah. And it's funny because like Mother Nature, the forest, for example, could be a beautiful looking place, but then very haunting at the same time. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I've always been a little creeped out by the woods, and I was born and raised in Maine, and my family was all hunters, and
right.
They like to go hiking and stuff. I've been very much indoor kid, reading books, watching movies, playing music.
Yep, that's me.
I've always been a little creeped out by the woods. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, nah. My wife would do that. Like she's like Tomb Raider, Laura Croft. She wants to.
There you go.
She's adventurous, and I'm just like, you want to climb that tree, hon? I'll wait till you come down. I got you down here. All right, I got.
Have a great time. Yeah.
But yeah, how long did Jonathan have to train for this character?
We didn't have much time from the conception of the story to when we were shooting. I think I had the idea for it maybe 2018, November 2018, and we were shooting by February 2019. So I know that he went to do a lot of weapons training on his own.
Yeah.
And you know, it was fast. It was really fast and furious. So we were doing a lot of stuff out there. A lot of it was just, hey, you guys are in the woods now. Figure it out.
Right. Yeah, copy that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the family did a good job too. The little girl and his
Yeah.
wife.
So the little girl actually her name is Trinity Bliss. She is an absolute movie star. She was in Avatar. She's in the Avatar sequels. She's the little girl.
Oh wow, that's that's hilarious. Since I mentioned Avatar earlier.
Yeah, and I mean, she came onto set, man. She was 9 years old, and she was like pitching me ideas, and I'm like, "That's a really good idea. Let's do that." And she was a pro.
So she's like really smart. She was already ahead of everyone, basically, right?
Yeah, we were all very intimidated by her. and the mom.
She didn't even have to try out for it. She just walked in. I got the part. That's it.
She directed the back out of it. No, the mom too is played by Jen Ko, is another great actress who's on she was on Kung Fu, and she was just in the Netflix show The Last Thing He Said to Me. Yeah, so she's fantastic as well.
Nice. Copy that. Yeah, the beginning too of this movie really set the tone.
Yeah,
right off the bat, really set the tone for how the movie's gonna feel. Awesome. Yeah, it's a great opening right here.
Thank you. I thought there was something really cool about the irony of starting a movie called Bone Cold in the desert.
Yeah. And the other actor's name, what's his name again?
Matt Monroe.
Matt. Yes.
He's another one that's like, I feel like he gets scooped up by someone big. He's gonna do big things, because his performance in this is just electric the whole time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was gonna ask, I was like, did both of these guys known each other? Have they worked together before? Because their chemistry was really good.
They have, actually.
Wow.
So
all right.
They had just worked on a movie right before this, and I didn't know that when we cast Matt. But John brought Matt in for the audition, and then when we cast him, he's like, "Yeah, so he and I just did a movie together."
Wow. Okay, it makes sense. But yeah, he did some things in the movie that really was cracking me up, his character. Yeah. But yeah, back to John killing it. And did you want to go into a little bit about the theme without spoiling anything?
Yeah, I mean so the film deals a lot with PTSD, and I think how it's sort of formed, where it comes from, how it follows somebody. It takes a lot of unexpected turns. I think it starts in one place and gets to a point where you're kind of like, where is this going? And when you realize where it's going, it's very, oh shit, I don't want to go there.
Right. Copy that.
And yeah, it's a very delicate, kind of sticky subject to talk about, but I figured early on, once I realized that's what we were dealing with and that's what we're talking about, I was like, let's just do it. We got to dive right into it. So that's a lot of it is very surreal, very strange, very creepy. Combine that with a lot of big action, and that's kind of what we got here. Yeah.
Where's this location at here?
This is in Skid Row in LA. This is a basement in an office building. And it was a very, very dangerous part of town. So we had to be really careful when we shot there.
Right.
But it's amazing looking location.
Yeah.
This whole thing, this colonel played by Sean Sharma, another great actor who's on the show The Chosen. He plays this guy who is very apathetic toward the well-being of the guys he's sending on this mission.
Big time.
And in a big way, like that, his attitude, he's kind of the villain of the whole thing. There was no better location to have a shady mission like this be set up and kind of put forward with this old crappy projector and terrible pictures. Oh, actually, this is a fun anecdote I want to tell you. That mug that's there that he's holding,
Yeah.
I remember the production designer, Alex Welch, she called me. She's like, what kind of mug do you want? And I was like, I hadn't really thought about what kind of mug, but
Yeah.
get me the douchiest mug you can find. And she totally did. And so
Wow.
it's like every time he comes out with this douchey looking mug, I'm like, yes, she crushed it.
But yeah, look at these guys, man.
Oh yeah. No,
I reacted the same way they reacted when they were asking questions about the previous team that
Yeah.
went out before them and what
Just
happened, you know. Yeah.
shady stuff, and they
Yeah.
know it's shady, but
Yeah.
can
But
they really turn away?
it's the job, right? They gotta go to work. Yeah. But yeah, beautiful. So this was filmed in Maine.
Yeah, everything is in southern Maine.
Yeah, beautiful cinematography, man. There's some gorgeous shots for sure.
Thank you.
for
That's
sure.
that guy walking by there was my dad.
That is amazing. How cold was it when you were filming?
Oh man, it was. I believe it was -13 one of the days.
Right. So it was bone cold then.
It was bone deep cold. Yes. No, it was. A lot of the cast and crew are from California, except for
Okay.
Matt is from Vermont, so he knew it was up. But pretty much everyone else, they got there and were like, what is this hellscape? Why do people live here? This is terrible. And they were kind of asking, like, why did you drag us all the way out here for this? But then when they saw the footage, they said, okay, no, we get it. Let's do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, because our DP Ben Meredith did a fantastic job with capturing a lot of these images.
Is it mostly peaceful out there in Maine for the most part?
Yeah, really quiet, really
Yeah.
really chill, really calm.
Yeah.
That was a nice change actually from being in LA.
Nice. Yeah, it's like at this point, I wouldn't give two shits about how bad or the weather is if it's a peaceful place to live.
Yeah.
I wouldn't care. All right, back to the movie though.
Yeah.
Ooh, finding a previous dagger on the floor here in the snow. Left behind. That's hilarious. That's your dad, man. That is so funny.
Yeah.
Hey, use them. Use them. You got them there, right?
That's exactly.
Use those family members.
My mom and my dad both have roles in the movie, significant roles. Yeah, man, it was tough shooting out in the cold though, because so you saw in that last shot, it's snowing. You could be filming out there and it'll be snowing 1 minute and it will stop snowing when you have to do another take of the same scene, and you got one shot where there's snow and another one where there's not snow.
Yeah.
And it sort of wreaks havoc on editing, but you make it work. You figure out how to make it work.
Oh yeah.
The price of beauty,
Yes. Oh shit! What's that?
Something is going
God
wrong.
damn it! That's another great shot. Let me go back a little bit and see if I can catch it. Ah, damn it! There we go. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's time to go. I think it's time to abort.
Yeah,
Really.
mission over, man.
It's time to abort. We couldn't do it. We resign.
No.
We're
These
out of here.
scope shots, we have so many of these scope shots through the whole movie, and I knew that we were going to have just a ton of them. So, so much of the story is told through John's scope.
Yeah.
And so we really worked hard to nail down what these effects were going to look like and feel like. When we got to it at the end of the day, the effect we landed on is really visceral in a way. You can kind of see the edges of what's going on. You see this magnification. You're looking off into the distance. It really gives you a sense of depth to every scene. So I was really proud of how all the scope stuff ended up looking.
Oh yeah, it looked great. And you know what? It reminded me, all the stuff that I enjoyed in the film reminded me, especially this kind of stuff, of one of my favorite action suspense movies, Sniper.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I purposely did not watch Sniper while we were making this.
Okay.
I didn't want to accidentally steal anything. I wanted to.
You did it.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah, you did.
Because I have seen Sniper a long time ago, and it's great. But yeah, I wanted to do definitely our own thing.
Yeah, Sniper is one of those movies where I feel like it's just forgotten. Like there's been 5 billion there's been 5 billion sequels.
Yeah,
but
there
I
was
feel
one
like
that came out when we were making this. I'm pretty sure.
Probably, yeah. I mean, I own some of them. I still haven't even watched them yet. But the first one's a classic. But yeah, back to this. Back to the movie here. How about the night shooting? Was that difficult? All the night
Yeah. So I'll tell you, man, we knew we were going to be out there in the middle of the woods. We did not bring a lot of equipment with us.
Yeah.
we had 4 quasars, 4 little tube lights that lit everything at night. So Ben Meredith, our DP, had to get really clever and creative with how we were going to make this look. And, you know, we just leaned into the idea, all right, there's going to be a lot of the background that falls into black. And we were like, great, that's totally fine. I love it.
Yeah.
And so all the night stuff looks really good. I couldn't even really tell you how, because Ben is really good.
Yeah, because usually a lot of times, you know, people only have a certain amount of budget, right? They have to do the
Yeah.
whole day for night shooting kind of filter, you know.
Yeah.
But this was all legit, and it made things a little bit more suspenseful and creepier because, you know, we never know what's in the darkness, right? That's why
Yeah.
people fear the dark, because you don't know what's in there, right?
Yeah, and that's why this scene where things really start to get crazy and they're starting to realize that this creature could come from any direction. That's why this is set at night, to add like this level of we don't know where it's going to come from. We cannot see it coming.
Yeah.
And just thematically that works as well. Like, you know, I think you don't see where this monster is coming from.
Right. Yeah. Again, you know, I know I'm repeating myself a lot, but Jonathan's performance was so good. Just so good in the movie.
Yeah, he's going to be hearing that a lot.
Again, without spoiling anything, I loved the little foreshadowing here.
Oh, thank you.
That was great, man.
Yeah, thank you very much. This is a sort of key to the theme of what's happening and kind of their family dynamic. Wife is an artist; she paints this picture, and you know, once you sort of realize and understand everything that's going on with John, you realize his wife knew what was going on with him, or at least had an inkling of an idea. And so, you know, these little nuggets of character and I'm trying to avoid saying they paint a picture of everything, but that's they paint a picture of what's happening there.
But yeah, there's definitely some tense moments. I mean, you get some cool action. There you go, the MVP in the movie. The MVP.
Yeah. One of my favorite shots is that shot of the shell falling down to the ground from the rifle after she reloads, and that's, you know, several factors going into that one. Let's see.
But yeah, you guys looking for some blood? Oh yeah, that's awesome. That's pretty awesome. You guys looking for some blood and gore? It's in here. There's stuff in here.
You're gonna get it.
Oh yeah.
That was all these two guys, Brian Hillard and Matt Cunningham. They are, you know, Hollywood pros. They've been on a lot of stuff. They do a lot of blood work for like Tarantino. And you know, I met Brian Hillard a long time ago on a zombie project, and called him for this to design the creature, to build the creature, and he also performed the creature.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Copy that.
He's the guy that did, if you're a Walking Dead fan, he's the guy that did the Well Walker from season 2. And so he built that, designed it, built it, performed it.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. So that was pretty iconic.
Yeah, he's talented. Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you going for a certain look, or you were just pretty open-minded?
I was really open-minded, but I had a specific idea for how it needed to feel. And so what I talked to him about was it needs to be creepy, not in your face scary. It needs to be more of a silhouette. And he actually, you know, again, without getting too spoilery, he works with vets, and he works with, you know, people suffering from PTSD. A lot of the times what they do is they'll have these guys draw their fears. They'll draw their feelings and emotions. And a lot of the time they draw these creepy monsters. And so his inspiration was pulling directly from that idea.
Gotcha.
And so that's how we end up with this, this crazy looking black ribcage, disgusting looking monster.
Yeah. Copy that.
Yeah.
But the main thing for me personally, what drew me to this, especially after watching the trailer and then watching the movie, was really my favorite part of all of it. I mean, you know, Samurai Guy. I love the gore. I love the violence. I love the action. I love the action. I love the little horror elements here and there. But really, what I really loved the most out of this whole movie is the suspense.
Oh, thank you.
The suspense building, you know, when they're going in searching, like this scene right here, when they're going in searching the house, you know, all these little scenes like this, they just work so well, you know. And if you guys are everybody watching, if you guys are into suspense films, thrillers, then you got to check out Bone Cold for sure. But yeah, both of these guys, man, they work so good together.
Yeah, and it's for so much of it, it's a 2-man show. It's just the two of them
Yeah,
in the woods doing this mission,
Yeah.
and so it's so much relied on them.
Yeah,
I know what shot's coming up now.
yeah, this is great. Thin the herd, bam! Look at that. Yeah, the actor here, this gentleman in the middle.
Yeah.
Where'd you find him?
Okay, this is a great story actually.
Okay.
So when we got to Maine, we did an extras call, and we said, "Hey, we need a bunch of people for extras in this bus scene, right?"
Yeah.
There's a little Easter egg for anyone who hasn't watched it yet. This guy's name is Duncan Perry. Very sweet man. He was in the front of the bus, in the bus scene, and we met him on that day. And he happened to mention that he speaks Russian, and we hadn't cast this part yet. And we said, "Do you want to come back a day and play a different part?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh yes, absolutely." So yeah, we met him on the day that we were shooting in the bus, and you see him right in the front, and then he comes back at the end.
Wow, that's hysterical.
Yeah, that's something. I
hilarious.
mean, no one would ever pick up on that unless I just say it out loud. But that's one of my favorite things is like he's in it a couple times.
Nice. How fun. And this is some facility here? This whole area?
This is an abandoned dog kennel.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And it just happens to be owned by a friend of the family, my extended family. And yeah, we had a location that fell through at the last minute. And so we started asking around. And this is why shooting in Maine was so awesome. They just offered this up. They said, "Yeah, come on by and shoot. No one's doing anything tomorrow." And so we just had this beautiful, I think it was like 20 acres of land. And really, we only needed this little bit. But that's why this scene is so sprawling and open and big, because we were able to be on the top of this hill in the middle of the snowy woods.
Nice.
It looks like it's like a compound.
Yeah, it worked perftly. Yeah, and that was a pretty intense scene. I enjoyed that.
Awesome.
But yeah, we got more suspense scenes right here, which I can't talk about, but we're gonna keep going. Yeah, man.
I loved shooting that glow stick scene.
It was just reminding me of Predator a little bit. If it bleeds, we can kill it. You got the Predator green blood.
Oh yeah.
But just great stuff.
There's a sequence in there that's just straight David Lynch. That was him with the blood on his shirt. Just slow motion, really creepy, really surreal, really big building audio.
Yeah. Nice.
Or I like to think it's David Lynch anyway.
Yeah. Excellent. Hey, ho, that scratched the suspenseful action thriller itch, baby. That's right.
Amazing.
Oh, we have a question here. Oh, look at Brandon's giving thumbs up. That's right. He's giving thumbs up.
Thank you, Brandon.
We have a question here for you. Says here, what's your advice for filmmakers to get funding for their movies?
Oh man, that is a question I wish I could answer. So this one was pretty much self-financed. And I am by no means a wealthy man. So I was we shot this movie in chunks, and we kind of finished it in chunks. So it was very low budget, stretched out over a very long period of time. So we kind of just produced it as we could. That's why we shot all the main stuff at once. So it was a big lump sum there. And then I had to recover for a while and work through the rest of the year, and then saved up enough to shoot in the fall of 2019. And then, same thing in the beginning of 2020. And then, pay for post-production as we were going. A lot of it, because pandemic hit right at that point, and a lot of it just fell to me anyway. So I did so much of it myself. And once we got, by the time we got to things that I needed to pay for, sound mix, color correction, visual effects, all that stuff, I'd saved up a little bit more to be able to pay for that stuff. So funding, man, I'm still trying to figure that one out. But I do think now, with how Bone Cold has gone, with the success of that and everything, I've got the attention of some people who are the money people, who know where to go, who to talk to, who have those connects. I hate to say, like, make a movie. Like that's the way to funding. But I got that advice more than once, is the world is a different place once you have a feature under your belt, whether it's good or bad, whether it works or not, whether it gets distribution or not. Like the world's a different place at that point.
Yeah. Even if it's a short, right?
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
the world of shorts is a strange one. Some people will completely disregard them as nothing, and some people will see the potential in them and the filmmakers behind them. So yeah, it's a little bit tricky. Like Survivor Type, as well as it did, and as proud as I am of it, I don't know if it necessarily led to Bone Cold happening or would have led to anything happening, you know?
Right.
Because I think people watched it and liked it, but no one at any point was going to give me money based on it.
Right.
So it's a tricky world, man.
Yeah. But, you know, sometimes it works in people's favor, right? They make it
Absolutely.
short. People could see what they're capable of putting together. I'm sure, hey, it's like putting it on a resume, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You know? And the other thing is a lot of production companies will if they like a feature idea, they'll say, all right, let's give you money to go out and make a short version of it to see what you can do, to see what the movie, like a proof of concept kind of thing. Right. So that happens quite a bit.
Yeah. And, you know, whatever gets your foot into the door, you know. I have a buddy of mine who directed a few films, and then he stopped directing, and then he just wrote a script for a horror movie that got made. And then that got his foot back in the door to start directing again. Yeah. And now he's back to directing movies again. So I'm very proud of him. Yeah.
Everyone's got their own weird, twisted path, you know, to where they're getting to.
Yeah, for sure. But hey, is there anything else you got coming up, or we're on the hush? Anything coming up as of right now, or we're just still focusing on pushing Bone Cold as of right now?
Well, I'm getting Bone Cold done right now. I mean, I've had a lot of conversations about what's next. I do think there's going to be something coming after the writer strike is done, after we get all that stuff figured out.
Action related, horror related, a combination.
Yeah, I mean, it'll definitely be in that darker space. It'll definitely be horror. I mean, I think my forte is suspense, and I think that kind of action suspense.
Yeah.
So it'll be something in that of that nature.
Nice. Well, Samurai Guy and the Movie Dojo Army will be there.
Awesome,
for sure, man. But yeah, well, this was a blast. This was a lot of fun, my friend.
Yeah, man, this is great.
Yeah, man. And this is your second home now. You know, you had me at Lethal Weapon and True Lies. We're brothers now. We are related. Yes,
love it.
Hey, don't forget, guys. Pre-order Bone Cold comes out June 13th, I believe. Blu-ray, digitally, DVD, all that stuff. So you can pre-order it now. Check it out for sure.
There's
you guys
good special features on it.
Yes. Special features, all that good stuff, all the trimmings. Yeah. Why? Because the almighty Well Go USA. They always deliver. That's right. Shout out to that company, man. You're in good hands with Well Go.
I was thrilled when we started working with Well Go.
Yeah.
I just looked at their slate of movies and I was like, oh my God, this is the perfect spot for it.
Yeah, man. Well, before we wrap it up, is there anything you'd like to say to your followers?
Just thank you for watching, man. Like this is such this has been an absolute blast. This has been so much effort by a lot of people. And I think, you know, I'm in the rare position of a first-time feature director who's happy with their work. And I'm just glad to celebrate it with people. Yeah, I mean, check out the movie. Check out the work of everybody in the movie, because everything else they've done is pretty fantastic. And these are some very talented people involved in this. So.
Nice. Copy that. We will be there, man. That's right. Future films coming from Mr. Hanson himself. Suspense, action. It's what we love here on the channel. We will definitely be watching and keeping up, my friend. Billy, don't go anywhere. But all you badasses, hey, if you're first time here, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the old Samurai Guy. Share this video, get it out there. And don't forget to follow. Check all the links in the description box below so you can follow Billy on his future adventures. All right, guys, take care. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, everybody.
See you on the next one.